What's good, everybody? It's hard to believe. It's Tuesday, August 31st, 2021, the final day of August, and we are getting ready for college football this weekend. We could not be more excited. Last night, our boy AB changing another life as he goes perfect on the show. Tigers run line, Cardinals run line. Other than that, kind of just a ho-hum day. But we did have a lot of good information. Hopefully you used it to your advantage. But we do have a year-long subscription to give out today at I Am Dave SF. I'm assuming he is a San Francisco fan. I Am Dave SF. We will reach out to you on social media. You have just won a year-long subscription to SportsLine. If you want to be a part of the Perfect Parlay contest, leave us a best bet in the YouTube page comments. Leave us your Twitter handle. And then if you hit, one of our cappers goes at least 2-0, or we hit the gym, you'll be eligible to win. By the way, do not forget, tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 p.m. to midnight, be a part of the Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon. It's going to be incredible. One of the things you can win, how about watching the first game of the NFL season with us, the Early Edge crew? You can bid on it tomorrow night, 6 to midnight Eastern time. Also, a few of us will show up throughout the night as well. Also, we're starting a college preview show every single Wednesday, tomorrow, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. AB, Chip, Emery, all going to join me as we get ready for week 1 of the college football season. All right, let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know when we got these heavy hitters, you know college football is back. M Squared, what's good, man?
Not a lot, Coach. Just hanging out, having a good morning here, ready for the U.S. Open Day 2 to start. We got college football this weekend. A little rainy here in Nashville, but it'll pass.
Little rain, we'll take that over what a lot of people are going through in this incredible country of ours right now. Zack Attack, just wondering how you're feeling this morning, sir.
Well, I've got a donation to make a contribution. I'm happy to make that. I'm not happy with the loss. Boston, that was a bad pick. Probably one of my worst picks on the show, but I'm moving on. Got a couple of future props today.
Yeah, if you're wondering at home, you want to join us, I'll be donating $125. Zach will be donating $100 to the American Red Cross as we try to support in just a little way the hurricane relief effort. He lost a straight-up SportsLine showdown bet to my guy, the Maestro. Good morning, Larry.
Well, Coach, that was one of the only things that went right for me was the Rays last night. Very frustrating pitching prop when a guy was projected for about 63 pitches, and I think he threw over 80 and went over the K prop with one of his last 2 batters. But we move on. Don't cry over anything. Let's go.
We don't cry. We're on to the next. Speaking of crying, Matty Severance back in the saddle. Good morning, sir. You've become a social media darling.
Also, Coach, did you know I was a valedictorian of my senior class and an all-state quarterback in high school? Of course, it was at Bishop Sycamore, and it only cost me $18. So,
by the way, I don't think you can be valedictorian of a junior class. It has to.
Yes, exactly.
I believe so. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And because you are back in the saddle today, Mr. Matty Severance, you can go first.
Just some more bad news for Carson Wentz, who's barely been in camp because first the foot injury. Now he's on the COVID list, so he's going to get 4 days with the first team offense off camp. Just something to consider. The Colts are now home underdogs. Week 1 against Seattle, they were the only team not to be an underdog at all last regular season. Again, Wentz is new there, but Indianapolis has the longest week 1 losing streak at 7 in a row. They've only covered 1 of those. Survivor pool players may remember last year the Jaguars upset them and ruined some survivor pools immediately. So just something to consider if Wentz even plays.
One of my favorite things. I love survivor pools. And if Carson Wentz didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all right now. So hopefully he gets back and he plays well for Indianapolis. Now, we already talked about the devastation going on down in the Big Easy. The video is just hard to watch with all the flooding. And it's going to affect some sporting events this weekend as well. Maestro, what do you got?
Yeah, well, for sure, Tulane is going to have to go to Oklahoma instead of hosting the Sooners. That line has jumped from around 27, 26.5 all the way to 31. The last time they went to Norman, they lost 56-14. That was 4 years ago. But it does look like the Packers Saints for week 1 will be in New Orleans, perhaps with a limited crowd. The Saints are in Dallas right now practicing, but everything we're seeing is that that game should go on.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, I saw some quotes from Sean Payton last night. It didn't sound good as if the Saints would be going back to New Orleans anytime soon. By the way, for people at home that don't know about the quarterback for OU, Spencer Rattler is dynamic. Very much a Heisman favorite this year. You can see him on Saturday against Tulane. Okay, let's get into our picks for the day. If you're not a member of SportsLine yet, what in the world are you waiting for? Use that promo code EDGE. We're going to give you 30 days. And this could be the most important 30 days of the entire year. We're starting football. NFL season is starting. Use that promo code EDGE 30 days for free. Now, you get all of our cappers, all of our analysis, and one of them is Ian Parker, the best MMA handicapper in America. We don't have to wait till the weekend. We've got contender fights tonight on a Tuesday. Ian Parker, do you have something for us?
My Contender Series is back, and I got 3 plays for everyone. Let's get going. Diego Lopez over Brito. Lopez is going to have the grappling and submission game. That is where the biggest advantage is going to be. Expect him to get the fight to the floor and get it done there. Our second pick, 8-0, AJ Fletcher, 7 of 8 fights by stoppage. I expect this one to be no different. I expect him to get the fight to the floor and win by submission, but the odds are low enough. I believe right now they're at -150, which is way below our baseline. So we're going to take AJ Fletcher to win. And last but not least, the biggest favorite of the night, Azamat Rakhimov. He is the real one to look out for. This is someone who could enter into the UFC right now and make an impact in that division. I expect him to get it done within the 3 rounds. So Azamat Rakhimov to win within the distance, Diego Lopez straight, and AJ Fletcher straight. And those are our 3 picks for the Dana White Contender Series.
Thank you, Duck, very much. Now, you heard him say our baseline. It's -200. Anything below that. In MMA, we feel like you can bet it straight. Anything above it, we like to put it in the parlay. Overnight, that video must have leaked, because it skyrocketed from -150 all the way to -225. Take the information and put it into parlay, unless you want to lay the -225, but we're going to put it into a parlay. All right, my guys are chomping at the bit. Way too much housekeeping today. I apologize. All right, I love it when Tuesdays roll back around, because my man's 2 days off is over, and I get to go M-squared. You know the drill, son. Give it to me.
All right, Coach, let's start with some tennis at the U.S. Open. You're going to want to get this in quickly. It starts in about 1 hour from now. It's going to be a money line parlay on Sonego, Khachanov, and Sebastian Korda. So in terms of this matchup here for each of these individuals, Sonego, this is just a significant mismatch. His opponent's got a big enough serve that'll keep him relevant and could be an upset potential in a best of 3. However, this is a Grand Slam event, best of 5. The talent is certainly going to win out here in this one. Love him. And then Karen Khachanov, his opponent, Lloyd Harris, if you followed tennis recently, he upset Rafa Nadal recently on a hard court. However, Nadal was very clearly injured in that match. He since has taken the rest of the season off due to how severe that injury was. Lloyd Harris is overvalued here. That's creating a lot of value on Khachanov. He is really propping up the value of this parlay. And then Sebastian Korda, playing on home turf here, loves the hard court, should have a ton of advantage. He's got a massive skill set edge. So in a best of 5, he's going to get this done. Wrap them all together, +165 for that parlay. And then headed to Major League Baseball. I'm taking the over 5 runs in the first 5 innings of the Phillies and the Nationals. 2 lefties on the mound, Matt Moore, Patrick Corbin, at the bottom of Major League Baseball in terms of weighted on base average. The weather conditions in this game are very close. We talk about air density quite a bit. This is right on the fringe of being a strong hitting environment. As long as the rain stays away enough, that 85% humidity is going to elevate enough to keep the ball flying through the air well. And then finally, both of these teams, top 7 in Major League Baseball against lefties, with the Nationals being the best team in Major League Baseball against left-handed pitching in terms of weighted on base average. Take the over 5 runs.
Yeah, that over sailed over last night. 7-4 was the final between these two teams last night. Guys, real quick, we have some breaking news here live on the show. Just announced, we're going to go with Jim McBride as our, at least that's the Twitter handle we're going to use. The Patriots have released Cam Newton, and Mac Jones, the rookie out of Alabama, will be the starting quarterback for the Patriots week 1. Incredible news, shocking news coming out of New England. Now, speaking of the NFL, we talk about money management all the time. The reason for it is you want to have that bank account ready, because future betting is such a big part of what we do. Zach Attack, the floor is yours.
All right, Coach. 2 of my favorite props that I like to do every single year, rushing leader and wide receiver yardage leader. I'm going to start off with the rushing leader in Jonathan Taylor, 12-1 from the Indianapolis Colts. Last year, he was on my fantasy football team, was very frustrating for the first 10 games, only had 400 and some odd yards, but he got the touchdowns. And then towards the end of the year, the last 6 games, 741 yards. Kind of reminds me of Derrick Henry. Remember, he had that timeshare with Deion Lewis in 2018. 2019, it took him until Marcus Mariota was benched to get going, finished that year strong, and then carried it over to 2020. I think Jonathan Taylor, this is his job. He's going to take off this year at 12-1. Love his prop. And then wide receiver yardage leader, Terry McLaurin of the Washington Redskins, 30-1. He's never had a decent quarterback. Last year, the Washington quarterback was 35th in Alex Smith. The year before that, I think it was 30th. Year before that, in the 30s again. You have to go back to Kirk Cousins since he's had a top quarterback. In comes Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not the best statistically, but he zeroes in on his prime targets. For sure, Terry McLaurin is going to be a prime target. And then that extra game this year is going to be beneficial, especially for this wide receiver prop. The last 6 games for the Redskins, let me pull it up here. They're going to face the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, and then the New York Giants. I love that slate. He dominated the NFC East last year. Take Terry McLaurin, 30-1.
By the way, speaking of Indianapolis Colts quarterback, has anybody seen, if you haven't seen it yet, go to social media and find the videos of Phillip Rivers coaching or doing inspirational speeches. I'm now a new fan. That dude is amazing because I love him. Because I love him. You'll know what I'm saying. You'll know what I'm saying when you see the video. Because I love him. Speaking of loving, oh my goodness, Matty Severance, you have exploded the last month. How do you feel, Lady Killer? How do you feel? Give us your picks.
Well, a couple of things. I think Alabama's running around with a lampshade on her head right now because of Mac Jones to be the starting quarterback. He might be a good rookie of the year play right now, but I'll be taking the Dolphins plus 3.5 week 1 now. I also think he's going to end up. Cam Newton will end up with the Jets as the backup. For my plays today, I'm going to go with a Twin Cities double. Just kind of happened this way. If you check SportsLine last night when the lines first came out, I got the Twins at minus 140 over the Cubs. That line has risen a fair amount where it's going to start not being valued, but I think it's still okay now. Most National League offenses get better by adding a DH, but somehow the Cubs will get worse. That's just how bad they are. Chicago pitcher Zach Davies is pitching more like Zack Cimini right now. He's 0-3 with a ERA near 8 in August. Minnesota actually has a winning record this month, their first winning month of the year. So I don't have a ton of faith in the Minnesota starter, John Gant, but their bullpen is very, very good. So I think the Twins win that one. And I like Minnesota over Ohio State on college football on Thursday. I'm going to add the half-point alternate line, so I'm taking the Govers at plus 14.5. They bring back 20 starters, which is among the most in the country. That includes one of the Big Ten's top quarterbacks in Tanner Morgan and one of its best running backs in Mo Ibrahim. I believe the PJ Flex, the Fighting Flex, will be a lot closer to the 2019 that was very good 19 team than the one last year that wasn't very good. For what it's worth, home teams were 4-1 against the spread in week 0 this year. Ohio State has just 11 starters back, so it might take a little while for them to get going. So I like the Gophers to cover that alternate line, 14.5. I know Allen's on 13.5, Ohio State, so maybe we'll both win at 14.
Oh, wait a second. Did you say Allen? He actually is on line 1, and he is screaming about a SportsLine showdown bet. However, we can only do that when both guys are on the show. So
you have to have an expert page, and he doesn't have his yet, so.
Speaking of that, we do need to send out congratulations because what Matty Severance just let the cat out of the bag. Our guy AB officially has his own experts page. Will be up hopefully by the end of this week, right, Maestro? By the end of this week?
Yeah, that should be up soon. And I mean, AB is really the #1 team player that I've ever worked with pretty much in any job I've had. And I know all of you guys agree with that. So really psyched with what he's doing.
He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. All right, Maestro, you know you're in that anchor spot for a reason. And I understand that normally you don't feel a lot of pressure. But when you have to follow up that, then I know there's pressure. What do you got today?
All right, I'm going to go to the worst team in all of baseball, the Baltimore Orioles, who have only won 40 times. But I'm going to look at their team total over 3 runs. It's minus 128 on FanDuel. If you like it, you can also play over 3.5 for plus money at pretty much any book right now. And Ryu for the Jays has just not been good. The ERA in August, well over 6. The Orioles have a 750 OPS against lefties. That is number 6 in all of baseball. The one thing they do well, they do hit lefties. Last 7 games, they've scored at least 3 runs, all 7, averaging almost 7 runs a game in that stretch. So let's let's go over 3 with the Orioles.
I like it. Last night they helped us cash that over. It was 9.5, and then they scored that late 9th inning run. Hopefully that'll happen again today. A little late game run, take that team total over. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it looks absolutely glorious. M-Squared, he's on the National Phillies' first 5 over 5. Then a 3-way parlay in tennis. Get it in quickly. It starts in less than 1 hour. Zack Attack, 2 futures. We're going to go McLaren, receiving yards leader, 30-1, and then Taylor, rushing yards leader, 12-1 in the NFL. Then the Lady Killer is on the Twins, minus 145. And then in college football, we're going to go the Minnesota Gophers, plus 14.5. Yes, AB is on Ohio State, minus 13.5. Maybe we'll hit it 14. And then the Maestro, as always, follow him on social media, always dropping plays with Mad Max in the Thunderdome. Orioles team total over, the only play so far. Then our guy, Ian Parker, Diego Lopez, AJ Fletcher, part of the Contender series in the UFC. And then the gym, plus 257 is tasty. Mr. Karanov, close. In the distance, Twins, Yankees, plus 257. All right, it's a full show. Every day is going to be chock full, just like this. Hopefully, you've done your money management. Hopefully, you're locked and loaded, because we are. Don't forget, tomorrow, our first college football preview of the year, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And later today, we'll be taping our golf-only episode. The Tour Championship is this weekend, the final event of the PGA Tour. We've got you covered there as well. A lot going on, and damn it, we love it. Let's go. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for M-Squared, for Zack Attack, for the Lady Killer, Maddie Severance, the Maestro, and the jeweler who puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. Settle in. Let's go. This is the Early Edge. Good luck. Do you want best bets in your feed every single day? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Early Edge.